For today's design chat, we're going to be talking about copyright. So if you've ever used an image that you found in a Google search in a project or downloaded a free font, this video is for you. As designers, sometimes we need to bring assets into our work that we didn't create ourselves, like fonts, icons, images. It's perfectly acceptable, totally legal, but only if you choose the right assets. Just because something is available online for free, it doesn't mean you have the rights to use it in your project. This is a guide to making sure you do have the rights to use the images, icons, and fonts that you find on the internet in your work. Now, I will preface this by saying that I am not a lawyer, but this is just my understanding of basic copyright law, and this is how I approach it. The first thing to do when you find an asset you want to use in your work is to look for information about the usage rights. Repository sites will generally have a page that gives you information about this, and on sites like Flickr, for example, the usage rights will be listed by each photograph because the user gets to decide what they are, they're not a site-wide thing. When you're searching for free assets, you might sometimes come across things that are marked as being in the public domain, like this one here. That means that you can use it for whatever you want. You'll also likely come across a lot of things that use a Creative Commons license. Now, something to watch out for here is that there are many different types of Creative Commons license. This one means you can use it for whatever you like as long as you give credit to the creator in your project. This one means you can use it if you give credit, but you can't make changes or derivatives of it. And this one here means you can use it if you give credit, but not if it's a commercial project. Those are just a few of the main ones that I often see, but there is a link in the description where you can find out more about them and what all those little symbols mean. The type of Creative Commons asset you can use in a project depends on the project. If it's a project for a client or a business or one that you're going to earn money from, you should only use ones that are available for commercial use, so none with this symbol here. There are much less assets available for commercial use, which is understandable, so you might want to look into something like stock photography, and I did a video all about that, giving you some advice on it, which you can watch right here. You might also want to look into purchasing an icon set or a subscription to an icon site to get those assets. Please keep in mind though that just because you're paying money for something, that also doesn't give you the rights to use it for whatever you want. For example, with fonts, there's a difference between purchasing the rights for a personal use license and a commercial license. So read up on the usage rights carefully of the site that you're getting this asset from, and if you're not sure or if it's not clear, ask the site owner. Ignorance is no excuse to break copyright laws. You might be searching for an asset and come across one that doesn't have any rights information attached to it, like on Google perhaps, but just because there's no information there readily available to you doesn't mean you're allowed to use it in your project. You need to know explicitly that you do have the rights to use it. But if you do insist on using Google Images, here's a handy tip for you. If you go into the search tools, you can click on usage rights and select the license that you need for your project, and then you'll only see images that have that license and you won't be tempted by other ones. It's really important to make sure that the work you're doing is legal for all projects, but especially for client projects. You don't want to be responsible for them being in breach of copyright, because if they get sued, guess what? They're going to pass that cost on to you. You wouldn't want someone else stealing an asset that you'd worked hard on, so don't do it to other people. And on that note, I shouldn't have to tell you not to copy other people's work, but don't copy other people's work. There are ways to be inspired without ripping off their piece completely, and I think I might do another video on that because it is a whole different topic. With that said, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you found it useful. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. If you've got any questions for me, please leave them in the comments and I'll answer as best I can, but please remember also, like I said, I'm not a lawyer, so this is just all from information that I've found online and being taught in design school. If you are new to my channel, hello, welcome, please stick around. I make new videos about design, style, and DIY projects every Saturday, and vlogs about my life here in London every Tuesday, so hit subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!